Hi everyone, it's Christina from Card Creations and More by C, and today I just wanted to do a quick video to show you guys how I am storing my stamps. I'm talking about the cling rubber stamps as well as acrylic stamps and photopolymer stamps. Next to, you can see this is my desk here. Next to it I have this DVD stand, and it's kind of like propped up so I can get to 3 shelves very easily, and I can get to the 4th and 5th ones down below. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that how I'm storing my stamps are in these DVD cases, and they're actually right next to where I work, so I can just reach over and grab them. But I wanted to show you a little bit more about them. Hopefully this angle will work. Now, I was trying to store some of my stamps before in the CD cases, but let me just pull out some of these real quick so that I can show you. Just want to show you guys some of these anyways. Okay, so I didn't like storing my stamps in CD cases. I hate how you go to pull out the stamp and the whole CD case falls apart. And they're kind of small, they crack easily, and the spines are so tiny it's hard to write very much information, and then you're looking at them and you can't really see them well. So it just really bugged me. So I hardly ever used my stamps when they were in the CD cases, and my stamps from like Scrappy Moms I was just keeping right on the packaging that they came in, but it wasn't really ideal. I mean, I wanted them in something nicer. And I had thought all along it would be nice if I could use a clear DVD case. But, you know, when you buy a DVD case, it's got one side of it has the holder. So it doesn't really make much sense, because then it's going to be sticking out and you can't really put stamps on that. So I didn't like that idea. But I was doing a little bit of researching on the net, and I found out that Stampin' Up! Makes nice plain cases. Actually, let me grab one of mine that hasn't been used yet. Okay, they sell clear DVD cases. Well, they're like DVD cases. They're the size of a DVD case. And they're actually just empty on both sides, which is perfect for stamps. I don't know. They sell them in a 4-pack for $4.95 if you go through one of their consultants. And what I didn't even realize by ordering them is that they actually come, I hope you can see this, with a plastic film around the outside of the case where you can slip an insert in. So if one of your stamp sets has like an insert, you can just put it right in there. See? Whole thing lifts right up and put my fingers in between it. Okay, so you can do it that way. And it clicks together nicely with both clasps. And you also have a nice thick, you know, relatively thick spine that a label maker will cover nicely. So I think that they're well worth it. They're only $4.95 for 4 of them. I ordered 40 to start off with, only because I knew I had to take care of all the stamps I already had, and I don't want to be ordering them all the time. I'd rather order them in bulk, and then, so I ended up with 15 cases left. So I'm not going to have to order any for a while. But anyway, let me show you how I set up some of my stamps in them. Now, y'all know I love Scrappy Mom stamps. And the nice thing about these cases is that I'm able to hold 2 sets of Scrappy Mom stamps per DVD case. So what I did with all my stamps is I color-coded the spine, and I just used an adhesive equivalent to score tape and actually adhered it outside of the plastic film, because it was too hard to try to fit the strip down in there and it was getting bent. And then I just used my label maker and I put the 2 stamp set names on the spine. So now when they're on my shelf, they're labeled. And then Scrappy Mom's is a bigger set, so it comes with a fairly big overlay that has all the writing on it, if you can see through here. So it was sticking out the other end. So what I did have to do was cut off like a couple sentiments from the bottom and stick them down the side, but it worked out perfectly because theirs are a little bit more narrow than some, so they only took up like that much of the case, and then I still had that part to slip a couple of sentiments down in. So in this way, what's really nice about this then is that I've got one set on the front, which is simple sentiments, and then on the back of the case I have the everyday greetings, and you can see where the stamps are, which is a nice thing. Then when you open it up, and the nice thing is you don't even need any plastic over top of them inside because they don't actually physically touch, which is perfect. So then when you open it up, I have my stamps right over top of wherever the words were. Hopefully you can see that good. And so I can just look, say, okay, I want the congrats one, it's right there, peel it off, use it, and put it right back when it's dry. And it's really easy. They cling so well to this. Okay, and it's a really good value when you're fitting 2 stamp sets per case. So the nice part is then it only works out, because it's $1.25 a case, it's only working out to be 60 point something cents or 62 point something cents per case. Now I don't feel that that's that expensive. I realize these are more expensive than CD cases, but I don't think that it's that bad to invest 62 cents in a case that's going to keep your stamp sets really nicely and also look nice on a shelf with a nice spine. And so, I wouldn't have been able to fit both sets of stamps in one CD case. I would have had to split the one set up between the 2 sides, and it would have just bugged me. So I think these are really cool, and I had 12 sets of Scrappy Mom stamps. So I only have 6 cases on my shelf right now, which is really nice. And like, I combined the Furry Friends and Amusing Animals onto the same case because they're both animal themed and that kind of thing. And what I did when I ordered, I had just All in the Family. I printed that out with my little dash thing that goes between them, and I didn't have another set of stamps at that time, so I just left the rest of the spine blank. And I wanted to color code my spines just to make it easier when I'm looking at my shelf to look right for the Scrappy Moms. And they have like red and purple in their packaging, so I just went with purple. So, you know, as you can see, it works out really, really great. And now I've got plenty of cases left. I mean, I've got 15 empty cases left that it's going to hold a lot of stamp sets. So that's the Scrappy Moms ones. I wanted to show you Emma's My Creative Time stamps. Her packaging looks like it was meant to go with these cases. She has this type of packaging rather than the clear overlay. And this perfectly fits in this case. I mean, it's like it was meant to go with it. It's quite perfect. And once again, you can fit 2 stamp sets. So I got one on the front and one on the back. And then on the spine, she of course likes red, so I went with red for the spines, and I put the 2 titles of the 2 stamp sets. And then when you open it up, of course, you have 1 set per side. And it's really awesome. The only trouble with this, because she doesn't use the clear overlay, you do have to study it a little bit more carefully to find out where your sentiment is, because you're looking at it upside down and backwards usually. So, you know, it takes a little bit, but once you use your stamps more, they do get a little bit of a stain from the inks that makes them easier to read. So, but it's not that hard to figure out where it is. And they're in a nice protective case that's getting no dust at all. And, I mean, they just look perfect. It looks like they were meant to be sold that way. So, anyway, I have 6 sets of her stamps, and I have them just like that, front and back. And it makes it really, really nice. And then, just wanted to show you some of my acrylic sentiments that I had. I don't remember what packs they came from, so I just labeled them like miscellaneous sentiments 1 and 2. So I decided acrylic sentiments would get a bright green spine. And so these are in no particular order. I just opened up the cases and fit as many as I could between the 2 sides, and that was that. A couple of them aren't so clingy, so I just need to give them a washing. They got a little dusty on the back side. But this way I can actually look through and see you know, which sentiments they are, because you can look through and read them. So I actually have 2 like that, okay? And so now I've actually found that I'm using them a little bit more. I don't like them as much as I like my Scrappy Moms and the photopolymer, but I mean, I bought them, so if I use them once in a while, then that's great. And they look nice. And then I took blue ones for things that are more like non-sentiment related acrylic stamps. So this one's just some kinds of borders and backgrounds. So I went ahead and labeled those. When you open it up, it's stamps like this that's, you know, like borders and stamps that you can use to make backgrounds. So I just went ahead and loaded them up with however many would fit. And then I have like my image ones. Here were just images that came from various stamp packs. I don't know anymore. So I put miscellaneous acrylic images 1, and I just went ahead and loaded them up. Some of them, see, the acrylic ones get dirty so easily, and they're not so clingy. But I just loaded it up with whatever would fit. And at least now I'm just down to like 2 or 3 DVD cases of just acrylic stamps that, and from going forward, I would keep track of them by the name of the stamp pack, but I just didn't when I first got started. And then like these were some snowflakes. These are 2 sets of snowflakes, but they're both by Inka Dinka Doo, so I just went like that. And then I just loaded it up and just put them in here. So if I were to get any other miscellaneous, you know, snowflakes, I would just fit them in here if they fit, and just keep that for snowflakes. And then rubber cling stamps are really fun. I really like the ones by Hero Arts, so I picked yellow spine for my rubber clings, and I went ahead and put the names of the 2 background stamps that are in here and then the manufacturer. And see, you can just flip it around and see your patterns. And when you open it up, even these, you know, barely touch together. They don't really even touch completely, so it works out perfectly. Then you just peel it off because it's clingy, and put it on your block and use it, and then just wipe it down, and when it dries you just put it back in. And it's nice because those are big stamps and CD cases don't hold those, but these cases do. And then I have some miscellaneous rubber cling stamps, some sentiment ones, and it's nice because they were labeled on top of the cling material, so you can see it right through. And as you can see, it doesn't matter, even though they're thicker, it still closes up fine. And then I happen to have this one background stamp that's really cool, so I just have that. And I have plenty of room to grow in this case to just be able to fit more stuff in there. So I just did miscellaneous rubber cling stamps 1. I just figured eventually I'm going to get to know what 1, 2, and 3, like what's in them. And then I wanted to show you, I have 2 sets of stamps by Robin, my pink stamper. And of course, and if anybody knows her, she loves pink. So I gave her a bright pink spine. And then I put the names of her 2 stamps. I just wanted to show you her overlay actually fits in here really nicely without being cut. At least on her normal size stamps. On her new biggie sized ones, not really sure how those would fit, but I don't have any of those. So I only have 2 sets of hers, and she also uses the clear overlay. So I have, you know, front and back. You flip it over, there's the other set. And then you open it up and they're just in there perfectly. So I just kind of wanted to show that. I don't know how many of you guys use these cases, or if you're partial to your CDs. I mean, I didn't have an extreme stamp collection, I guess. You know, I only had a few CD cases. And then like all of my sentiment sets that I'd purchased, like Scrappy Moms and My Creative Time, I just had in their, you know, plastic packaging that they came in. So so for me it wasn't so bad because I wasn't getting rid of like tons of CDs. It took me about 4 hours, I won't lie, to do what I did with all of these, and that includes transferring them all in, getting the spines put in place, well, the overlays, and making the spines, and then all the titles, you know, sitting there on the label maker took some time. But, you know, I think it's worth it for me because this just works for me so much better. open it up, peel out what I need, the case doesn't break on me, and I can very easily look over to my shelf and grab what I want. And I like how I have enough room on the spine to color coordinate them and all of that. So I mean, if you're not really liking your CD cases, but it's the best thing you could come up with because most people do use those, you know, maybe consider them, or maybe start transferring some of your sets slowly. I still don't think it necessarily takes up more room than the CDs because you're fitting more per case. I was totally thrilled when I realized I was going to be able to put 2 stamp sets per case, and I think it makes it a really good value at that point. Because, you know, the stamps are an investment. These should last for years and years and years to come if you take care of them. And there's no dust that's going to get into them. The other thing I didn't like about the CDs was to take out the part that actually held the CD. It left the one part open on the end instead of it being closed. I didn't like that either. But anyway, I just thought I would show what I've been doing, and you know, if you think it might work for you, you can find a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If you don't know of one and you need a link to a demonstrator, I can provide you with the one that I went through. Her name's Stephanie. She's a blogging friend. She has a blog, Always Crafting, and also she's part of the Whimsical Wednesday Challenge blog. So I just went ahead and went through her site. It was really easy. I just clicked on it from her blog and it brought me right into the preferred pricing for going through a consultant. And I got my order 1 week from the day that I placed it, which really wasn't that bad, I don't think. So, you know, if you need any help with that or you're interested in more information on these, just send me a message and I'll be happy to help you find somebody. And if not, you know, if this works for me, it might not work for everybody, or it might not fit everybody's budget, but I just felt like it was a good time for me to do this since I didn't have a huge stamp collection, and I like to be organized, and I'm kind of picky about things. So, and you know, if you pay nice money for stamp sets that are really nice, I just want it to be kept the best way possible. And for me personally, it was this, because, you know, even if I were to handwrite, I would have never been able to handwrite on a CD case. My handwriting's way too big for that. But I threw away so many cases because they cracked in half on me when I was pulling a sentiment out, that I was just like, this isn't working, I need something else. And then I discovered these, which, by the way, I think these are a fantastic invention by Stampin' Up! I mean, they really are. To have the DVD case for stamps without the holder is just awesome. So anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks. Bye.